Um, to be honest, it was I can't believe I'm saying this in front of Solly. It was a con was what if Solly and I broke up while we were filming
Exactly,
it?
exactly.
And you know we had to be vulnerable. It was you know my family's a circus. It's hilarious. There's no way the movie couldn't be funny, but in some ways, you know, it was really interesting because people are used to the Matthew Smith they see, you know, on the television shows and in the movies, but this was really just in my life, and you know, you can see that I have a bunch of cats and we have parrots and I have my crazy little sister and my mom and you know, Sally and I. It's just it's a really big peek into my life. So I guess that was a pro and a con, but thank God Sally and I are going strong here, and you know, it all worked out in the end. Another con obviously was just, you know, I know that this is a very hot button issue right now. It's a hot topic, the LGBT civil rights movement, if you will. So we're actually, Sally and I are going on a national tour. We start in Sundance next Wednesday to promote the film, and we're going to be talking at schools. We're going to be talking at different groups, and I'm curious because I know there's going to be some backlash, but I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
So what type of backlash, Matthew, do you think you'll get behind this? Well, what do you think?
You know, I think that society and our country specifically as a whole is progressing. We're moving forward. You're seeing kids come out as early as 9, which is so amazing, and you're seeing you know, all sorts of different people that maybe before would have been very against the LGBT topic who are now talking about it. But you know, one of my really good friends, Constance McMillan, who many of you might know, she was the lesbian that was actually not allowed to go to her prom a few years ago. Do you guys remember that story? So she's a friend of mine. I actually just had lunch with her. I was down in Mississippi over Christmas break, and she was telling me about her friend, and when he came out, that the KKK was starting to kill him. And that's now. This is today, in today's world, and that still exists. And you know, so that was actually a little eye-opening for me. And I lived in the South for 2 years. I lived in Alabama and Louisiana, and it was very accepting. Actually, I found it amazingly accepting, and the stereotype is so wrong. You know, people think if you're in the South that you're just going to be, you know, and if you're gay you can't talk about it, but people are so loving. I mean, my business partner and the executive producer of the film, Lamar Billups, is from Mississippi, and I mean, you just have so much acceptance. But you know, after talking to Constance, you know, there is that other dark side, you know, and there's also, you know, I have friends that are Republicans, I have friends that are Democrats, I have friends all across the board politically, and one thing I really try to encourage them to think about is that this isn't, it shouldn't be a political issue. It's not. We're just people. So, you know, I respect them. I respect my friends who are conservative. I respect my friends who are liberal. And it's really interesting right now to see the shift that is happening. But of course, there's always that backlash, and there's always those crazies like the Westboro Baptist Church out there, you know, that says these horrible things, and they picket soldiers' funerals and just all sorts of nutso things that go on. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that there will be some, I think, backlash towards this, because there is a there's a group of thought that says, you know, that gay people push their agenda. So I guess this is just, you know, me pushing my horrible agenda onto society. But overall, it's a really positive movie. The other thing that I found interesting, and my younger gay friends and I talk about this, is, you know, my generation, you know, I was born in 1988, so my generation, we're very much about just being part of. You know, we're so grateful for the older generations that have fought for our rights, and now we're at a point where we're saying, you know what, screw it. This is who we are, and we don't care if you don't like us. We're here, and we're not going anywhere, and we were born this way. And it's funny because I've actually found a little bit of backlash from the older LGBT community, which I was not expecting, because you know, the fight is dwindling down, and that's a positive thing, and we should be embracing the fact that you know, we don't have to, we're able to be in public, and we're able to be in society, and we're not these outcasts that we used to be. But you know, some things that's interesting in the film, and I did this on purpose, is, you know, we presented it as, you know, we're normal, and unfortunately there are even some gay people who still want to segregate themselves.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So, at what point in time did you find out that was a situation where you was going to be gay? And at what age?
I
mean, did you know it early on?
Yeah.
I mean, just real early,
Well,
like 6 or 7 or something
let me
like
ask
that?
you this. This is what I always tell my straight friends, or I ask them, when did you know you liked girls? How old were you, would you say, when you started having crushes on girls?
Yeah, about 5.
About 5, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so it's the same thing. I knew something was weird. I remember wanting to be friends, really good friends with certain guys, and that's how I was, that's what I was telling myself in my head. And I remember in 6th grade, a friend of mine, Brian, he was my age, and he was in theater with me, and I just wanted to be his best friend. I couldn't understand how I was feeling. And I was really fortunate to be in theater and surrounded by a lot of actually really positive gay role models, because in New York and in theater you have that. And I realized, oh crap, this must mean I'm gay. And then I said, okay, I gotta tell my mom, but she probably won't believe me yet because I'm too young, so I'll just wait. So I did. I mean, I knew I was gay when I was in 6th grade, but I came out to my parents when I was 15. I came out when I was 15.
Okay.
I had a boyfriend. It was a really serious relationship. It actually lasted for 4 years, even through me moving here to Los Angeles. And when I did move here, an interesting thing that happened was I had to go back in the closet, because a lot of the people in this industry, especially because I was young and 16 and doing, these kid shows essentially, and you're supposed to be this heartthrob, you can't be gay. So I had to hide that side of myself, which was like we were talking about earlier, it was frustrating. I wasn't mad or sad or woe was me. I was on TV. I was grateful, but I wanted to find a way to have a positive impact on the actors out there, because I know there's lots of people out there, or maybe parents who have kids who might be gay and who want to be in the entertainment industry, and I want to be part of this shift that's happening right now, and that's part of what my movie Out in the Open is about, is telling you, you can be out, you can be in entertainment. People are not gonna not go buy tickets to your movies, or not turn you on the television, because that's the old thinking in a lot of ways. And now you have people like Matt Bomer, who starred in White Collar, and he was in Magic Mike this year. You have Neil Patrick Harris, of course, who plays a womanizer on How I Met Your Mother, and you're finding a lot more gay and lesbian people that are coming out and that are stars. The caricatures are dying. If you look back at how the African American community was portrayed back in the 30s and 40s, it was a caricature, and now we have Denzel Washington and we have Halle Berry, and that's what I want to happen with the LGBT community. I want it to be not a caricature, but that we can be leading men and women.
What did Mom and Dad say when you told them? Since we're on this, let's get with it.
This is a funny one. I knew she'd be okay with it, but I was terrified. I was so nervous, and I did the gayest thing ever. I had Les Miserables, the concert, so I put it in my VCR, and I watched it four times in a row for like 8 hours with my best friend Laura, and I wanted to tell my mom with Laura, because then I'd have my friend there. So I finally muster up the strength. It's like a Sunday morning, and I go downstairs, and my mom's at her makeup table, so she's putting on her makeup, and she's not really looking at me, she's looking at the mirror, and we sit on the floor and we're holding hands. And I said, Mom, I have something to tell you. And she looks at me and she goes, oh God, tell me Laura's not pregnant. So immediately I'm like, crap, she has no idea I'm gay. How can you not? I'm the gayest thing ever. But I didn't say that. I said, no, I'm gay. And she said, oh, I knew that already.
Wow.
Really? And
wow.
I was like, and I'm dating Mike, which was my boyfriend at the time. And she looks at me and she goes, wait, Mike's gay? And starts crying about my boyfriend.
Okay.
I mean, not because she was upset about it, but just because she was so shocked that he was gay, and she had known it for so long. So I was like, what about me? But they were great about it. My dad, he's going to kill me for saying this, but we had dinner that night, and we're at the dinner table, and he said, well, are you sure? And I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure, Dad. I'm pretty sure that I like guys. And he said, well, I liked guys till I was 18. And there was this silence at the dinner table.
Wow.
And I said, what? And it turned out that he meant that he only had guy friends and he didn't start dating till later. But it sounded like he was he was coming out at the dinner table. But it was positive. I'm really grateful for that it was a positive coming out experience.
So now looking back at it, would you have done it the same way?
Yeah. Yeah.
No problems?
No problems.
Boom, same way?
Yeah, that's my personality, if you can't tell. I'm just very out there, and I just like to kind of just say it.
Well, I can tell that you're very comfortable in what you're saying.
Well, you make me very comfortable right now.
I love that.
It's a great show to be on and talk about this.
This is what it's all about. It's about to get the information out to the people so they can know and they can accept things a little bit better.
Yeah, yeah.
And see, we don't accept things because we don't understand things.
Exactly.
It's like anything it might be. You know, it could be a job, it could be whatever it is. If you don't understand the rules, how can you play it?
Well, and exactly. And the other side of that is you can't, you know, people who are, you can't be mad because someone doesn't understand something.
Right.
And that's a big thing that I find, you know, with the LGBTQ community. It's like they get